What's up guys, welcome back to my channel once again, and I hope you're all doing great. And this episode is going to be very interesting because today in this new video I'm going to review not one but two fragrances, and then in that of the video we are going to compare both of these fragrances. So at number one I have a perfume from the house of Tom Ford, and the name of the fragrance is Ombre Leather, and for my convenience I will say Ombre Leather in English. So Ombre Leather. And at number two I have a fragrance from the house of Afnan, and the name of the fragrance is Rare Carbon, and this is known as a clone of Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. Before starting the review of these two products, I would like to tell you that both of these fragrances are based on a very famous DNA, the DNA of Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. So first of all, I will try to explain you the original DNA, the DNA of Tuscan Leather, and then we will discuss both of these fragrances, and that will help you to understand what are the differences in all these three fragrances. So the DNA of Tuscan Leather. Tuscan Leather is one of the most famous fragrance from the house of Tom Ford, and I think one of their best-selling perfume. So the DNA of Tuscan Leather is very straightforward. As you can see from the name, Tuscan Leather is a leather-based scent with a top note of sweet, fruity raspberry with a touch of saffron, and then you will get some dry woody base. So Tuscan Leather opens with a very strong, sweet, fruity note of raspberry mixed with very strong, butch, sweet kind of leather, and then in the dry down, this scent becomes more woody and dry. The DNA of Tuscan Leather is very famous, and I am sure that most of you guys have already experienced it. So now let's get back to our first product, which is Tom Ford Ombre Leather. And first of all, the DNA is same here, the DNA of Tuscan Leather, but definitely here are some differences as compared to the original Tuscan Leather. So let me give you the notes breakdown first, and then I will try to explain you how this perfume smells, and we will also discuss the differences between Ombre Leather and original Tuscan Leather. So here in the top you will get cardamom, and then in the mid you will get leather and jasmine sambac, and then in the base you will get amber, moss and patchouli. So little bit different notes breakdown. So this was a notes breakdown, and now I will try to explain you how this perfume actually smells, and we will also discuss the differences between Ombre Leather and Tuscan Leather. So the structure of this perfume is very similar to Tuscan Leather. Even here in the opening you will get that fruity, sweet, raspberry kind of note with leather, a touch of cardamom and some florals, which is definitely jasmine. Now that fruity raspberry note here in the opening is not as strong as Tuscan Leather. This is the first difference, and this note will fades away in next 15 to 20 minutes max. The second note, leather. Even the leather here is not very similar to Tuscan Leather. In Tuscan Leather, the leather is very strong, butch, velvety, smooth and sweet kind of leather. But here the feel of leather is faded. It smells like a faded leather. If you put your leather jacket or your leather product in the sun for like few months, so that kind of smell you will get here. So the leather is not as strong as Tuscan Leather, and it's a little bit different kind of leather. And then here you will get some additional florals. Florals are more strong here, and yes, the cardamom. You will also get some touch of cardamom in the opening, which is not going to stay with you for a long time, maximum for like 1 hour, and then even the cardamom will becomes very light, or I can say almost fades away. And then in the total dry down, this perfume becomes more dry, more spicy and more woody as compared to original Tuscan Leather. In original Tuscan Leather, the leather stays very strong till the end, and even that note of raspberry stays till the end. It becomes lighter, but at least it stays. But here in the dry down of Ombre Leather, you will not get any kind of fruitiness, but only that faded leather with some spicy woody dry down. So this was about Tom Ford's Ombre Leather, and now let's go to our second fragrance, which is Rare Carbon from the house of Afnan. So we will start with the presentation here because I got the full retail pack. So this perfume comes in this beautiful solid box. Then here in the front you will find the name of the perfume with this beautiful design here, and then here you will find the logo of Afnan. Nothing on the sides, and then in the back you will find some ingredient details. On the top of the box you will find this very small initial of Afnan, and then in the base of the box you will get some more details, batch code, etc. To open this box you have to lift this upper part, and here we go. You will find your beautiful bottle resting here. So let's take our bottle out of the box. So here you go. Beautiful heavy glass bottle. The bottle is almost round and with a thick glass base, and then here on the top of the bottle you will get this chrome kind of piece here. This looks like metal, but this is actually plastic. And then the cap here is made of metal and it's pretty heavy. And then you will find this beautiful atomizer here. The bottle is pretty heavy but looks really nice, and here on the front of the bottle you will find the name of the perfume, Rare Carbon, and the logo of Afnan, and nothing else on the sides because it's a round bottle, so you will find nothing else. So this is the presentation, very nice heavy bottle, and the design of this bottle is going to remind you Azzaro's Want It. So okay, so this was the presentation, and now I will try to explain you how this perfume actually smells, and we will see how close is this to Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. So let me give you the notes breakdown first. Here in the top you will get leather, violet leaf, cinnamon and nutmeg, and then in the mid you will get rose, violets, cedar wood and oud wood, and then in the base you will get vetiver, sandalwood and amber. So totally different notes breakdown as compared to Ombre Leather or Tuscan Leather. So let's see how this perfume actually smells. So in the opening, once again, the structure is very similar to Tuscan Leather, or you can say with Ombre Leather. But what are the differences? Here in the opening, once again, you will get leather, very similar to Ombre Leather. This leather is also faded. It's not butch, not very strong, and it don't have that sweet kind of feel like Tuscan Leather. So this is more closer to Ombre Leather for the leather note. But here, instead of that fruity raspberry, you will get a very strong and prominent note of rose, sweet rose, along with some violets. And violets are making this perfume a little bit powdery in the mid stages, and they are also giving this perfume some more floral touches. So there was no rose in Ombre Leather, but this perfume is more rosy, and the rose is sweet and jammy here. And then in the second phase, the leather here becomes more stronger as compared to Ombre Leather, and it becomes a little bit less sweet. And then in the total dry down, it becomes little bit woody, but overall the feel of this perfume from the start till end remains sweet, because even the sandalwood here is not very dry, not very sharp. They have used a sandalwood here in the notes breakdown, and even I can smell, I have it on my hand here. So yeah, this perfume never becomes that dry or that much faded as compared to Ombre Leather. So it remains little bit sweet from the start till end. So Ombre Leather starts with sweet fruitiness with faded leather. Here it starts with sweet rose and violets with faded leather. Here the leather will never become that strong, but here in the middle stages leather becomes much more stronger. And then in the dry down, Ombre Leather becomes little bit more spicier, woody and dry. But here it never becomes that much dry, that much woody, but it still keeps some of the sweetness. So these are the differences between these two, Afnan's Rare Carbon and Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. Now, is this a clone of Ombre Leather? No, it's not a clone. Is this an alternative of Ombre Leather? Yes, definitely. This is an alternative. Afnan have done an amazing job, and I am very happy that they didn't copy paste the whole concept. They just used that DNA, that structure, but they have put their own creativity in this perfume, which I liked very much. And if you have rare carbon in your collection, you can skip this perfume. If you're on a budget, you cannot afford Tom Ford's Ombre Leather because yes, this is expensive. You can get this one, but if you can afford, try this one and try to get this one, because here you will get some brand value and definitely a little bit different kind of experience here. But if you're on a budget, you cannot spend that much money, go and get rare carbon, and it's equally good. An amazing product from the house of Afnan. Structure wise, DNA wise, very similar, but very nicely done in a very creative way. I love this scent, and the winters are coming, so this will be one of my top 10 scents for this winters. So this was about rare carbon from the house of Afnan, and now let's talk about some other aspects. First of all, performance beast. This perfume is going to stay on your clothes for more than one day. Just go little spray heavy, trigger happy, and this is going to stay with you for the whole day. And if you like leather fragrances, if you are a leather fan like me, you are going to love it. 2 to 3 hours of strong projection, and then, as I have told you, longevity is more than one day. And now let's talk about gender. So this is a masculine scent. It's going to work very well with men, but even the women, they can try it because there is this sweet jammy rose. Afnan have marketed this perfume as men's scent, but trust me, some women, they can also pull it off. And now for the age group. So this is for a little bit mature people, let's say 22, 23 plus. If your age is 22, 23 plus, you can rock it easily. And now let's talk about the season. So definitely this is a winter scent. In summers, you can use it if you are staying in air-conditioned environments like me. Otherwise, if you are going outside in heat, you will not get a very good experience. So keep it for winters. In winters, this perfume can do magic for you. And now let's talk about the occasions. You can wear this perfume in any serious kind of scenario. If you are wearing a 3-piece suit, or you are wearing this nice shirt tucked in your trousers, in your office, in your meetings, in corporate official dinners, in clubbing, if you are going for clubbing, oh, this is going to rock. So that kind of scenarios. Clubbing means if you are going to a place where you will be smoking, there will be a lot of smoke, this will rock, same like Tuscan Leather. And if you are wearing a leather jacket in winters, you have a big Harley Davidson, and you are driving on a highway, this is the scent you should be wearing. So these kind of scenarios, you should avoid this perfume in your gyms or in your sports activities. And now let's come to the main point, which is the pricing. So first of all, we will talk about Ombre Leather. So Ombre Leather is from the house of Tom Ford, so definitely this is very expensive, but this one is little bit less expensive as compared to Tuscan Leather. Tuscan Leather 50 ml comes around 600 to 700 dirhams inside UAE, and then Ombre Leather is around 450 to like 650 UAE dirhams for I think 50 ml or 100 ml, I'm not sure, you can Google it. And now rare carbon. Rare carbon comes in 100 ml quantity with EDP concentration, and the price of this perfume on the website of Afnan in UAE is just 120 Emirates dirhams. Amazing. And moreover, you can use the code Afnan15 to get 15% extra discount. So amazing price, unbelievable. The quality of the juice, so good. An amazing product from the house of Afnan, Rare Carbon. So this was about Rare Carbon and Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. I hope you liked this review, and until the next video, take care and bye.